Now, I've always wanted a card that really synergized with the jungle. Getting those minion kills, getting something for it, and I was really happy to see that Tyrant, a card that scales off of the stuff you do in the jungle, was finally here in version 42. Amazon is the tried and true way of shopping for anything you need or want at the lowest prices. Support the channel at no cost to you by doing your Amazon shopping through the link in the video description. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a Paragon guide. I am Sylphin. When we, after we take a look at Tyrant Math, I'm not editing that out. You know me, baby. I'm not editing that out at all. So guys, what's the TLDR bit behind Tyrant? I'm trying this out, give you guys the upfront info you need about Tyrant. So, 3 agility, 3 vitality, growth card, you gain 15 power, you gain max health after 50 jungle minion kills, and you gain 0.4 power for jungle minion kills, and stacks 50 times. As you see this, you gain quite a good amount of power as you're building those stacks, and when you're at max stack, you gain 200 health and 35 total power from the card. So a few things here. Tyrant is as good for power as other 7 to 8 attribute points cost cards around the 8 to 10 minute mark, but it's only 6 attribute points. 4 to 5 minutes later, around the 13 to 14 minute mark, Tyrant is essentially a 10 to 13 attribute point power card, not including those passives and actives. At the 17 to 20 minute mark though, again 5, 6, 7 minutes later, Tyrant is half the health card and nearly similar power card than 10 to 13 attribute point cost cards, almost including those passives and actives. Tyrant is unmatched in the power that it gives you, so you can, I mean, if you average that out with abilities and basic attacks, especially as a lot of junglers are focused around, it probably matches the passives and actives of some of those cards. Things like Red Zone, obviously, it can't match. Tyrant is a superior early game power card. Power quickly increases, making Tyrant a superior mid-game power card that also gives a fair amount of health when you complete that. Tyrant provides you with a 12 to 13 attribute point cost card, almost including those passives and actives, by around the 20 minute mark. And if one can farm well, Tyrant can help you snowball into the mid-late game and provide an effective transition to late game cards. But there you go. There is the TLDR. Now, how did we come to those conclusions? What is the proof behind it? Well, guys, the 15 power right off the bat for only 6 agility, or 6 attribute points, that's good. That really is good. The passive's not too complicated, really. You only get that max health after you gain 50 jungle minion kills, so you gain no health while you kill those jungle minions. And 0.4 power, that's pretty good. You know, you're killing 5 stacks all the time, which is what you should be doing. You know, that's a quick boost of power every time you kind of clear those camps. So again, 50 times, gotta kill 50 minions. As we take a look here at how many jungle minion kills you do versus the power you gain, you can see that it adds up pretty darn quick. 10 minion kills and you're already at 4 additional power. Not bad. Total power here after 2 jungle minion kills is 15.8 total from Tyrant. You go down here, 30 minion kills, 27 freaking power, and 50. Finally, that health kicks in here. As you can see, you don't get any health while you're killing those minions. You gain 200 max health, 20 power, 35 total power. Now, if we're over here and we take time into account, A, when can you get 6 attribute points, you know, just through farming and stuff? And B, what's a theoretical fastest way you can farm those jungle minions, because they spawn, you know, at certain times, and there's only a certain amount of them. What is kind of that theoretical maximum? I'm not including if you invade the enemy junglers camps. What does that look like? So around the 8 to 10 minute mark, you should be able to get Tyrant. You should be able to farm to get Tyrant. 8 minutes if you're really quick. Maybe even faster if you know, get a kill or 2, or 10 minutes if you kind of have, if you're struggling a bit. Maybe you're slower farming Severog, something like that. You should be able to get 5 minion kills. 2 power you then gain from that, the total power of 17. Then, because the jungle minions only spawn at a certain rate, you can only get those kills fast. So as you can see, it's basically 5 minion kills per minute. Now, yes, you're not going to be killing 5 per minute. You might, you know, you're going to leave the camps, build up to 5, and then you're going to clear those 5 stacks, you know, all at once preferably. So it's a little different from here, but this kind of lays it out in a nice, easy to understand pattern. And as you can see, the power 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, all the way up here to 50 minion kills and that 200 health that you gain there. So 35 power again, 200 health by the 17 to 20 minute mark. I tried to kind of make, you know, push that out to 17 if you're really quick, or 20, probably around average, as you know, there's lots of other things that go on in here. But you know what? I think the best of junglers should easily be able to do exactly this. And if you're not the best of junglers, yeah, maybe it's 20 minutes, maybe it's a little bit more. But hey, around there, I expect you should be able to test it out. Now, take a look at these comparisons that I've done to other cards. I threw in Pack Leader just to show you a 3 attribute point cost card. It's 8 power, and, well, Tyrant has 15 on it right off the bat. Yeah, Pack Leader has a little bit of an active that can maybe equate to some damage, but 8 power here. I just threw that in here. Now, 7 to 13 attribute point cost cards here. Knight of Asher, for example, and I give you the power that these cards give you. Attack speed is in brackets along there, as attack speed and power goes into total damage. And health I put on this side, as well as AA for ability armor and BA for basic armor. It's health, right? It's like, it's tinky stats, so I chose to include armor in here, as it does help with your effective total effective health. So you can just see that. So with the pluses, what these pluses mean is I anticipate something like Pressure Hunter, for example, that gives you more damage against people with more vitality than you. It's going to give you more value than the 10 power and 13 attack speed that's just on it on the stats department. So you're going to have to be like, power is going to have to be equal to something greater than those. So that's what I tried to show you here. So you can take a look here, take a look at all these cards, be like, hey, you know, Swamp Stalker, for example, has a tremendous passive. Again, you know, if you're able to use it, if it actually becomes a thing, you know, what kind of power level do you need on Tyrant to make it equal to Swamp Stalker? Probably much more than 13 power, 11 attack speed. So, I mean, it's not very, Tyrant not very comparable to Swamp Stalker. Maybe when it's maxed out, to be honest with you. Probably when it's maxed out, it's very comparable. But just so you know here, it's plus. So take a look at all these cards. Even when we go down to these 13, 12 attribute point cost cards, remember, Tyrant maxes out at 35 total power. Hey, that is probably very similar to a lot of these cards. Withering Shadow, yeah. I mean, situational, if you're able to use it in a big team fight, of course, you know, that's going to provide tremendous damage. But maybe you're a Grux, you know, 35 power, that's 15 extra power than Withering Shadow. That 15 multiplied by a great ultimate, by a great smash and grab, by a great bleed on all the heroes. That all adds up. While it might not add up to the active of Withering Shadow, you know, it's probably not that far behind. Honestly, it's probably not that far behind. So I think Tyrant is looking pretty darn good when you compare it to even these higher end cards. Of course, something like Knight of Asher, if you're running it alone, right, for that Elevate passive, it's going to be absolutely astronomical in value. Something like Red Zone, I just didn't even bother because, yeah, nothing beats Red Zone. Hellfire Engine, too much value there. So, yeah, take a pause, take a look at all the comparisons. And again, one of those statements that we made earlier in the TLDR, Tyrant is as good for power as other 7 to 8 attribute point cost cards around the 7, 8 to 10 minute mark. It's great. I mean, it doesn't have health on it, okay, but for power, it's fantastic. I mean, it has 15, a lot of 7 to 8 point cards don't necessarily have that much power. A A lot of them here, all of these don't have that much power. I mean, yes, they have other passives and actives, but you know, some of them you may not be able to use all the time, some they do, some won't be able to help you with your farm, some will. So it's really up in the air how good Tyrant is compared to those. Stat-wise, it's as good or better than other 7 to 8 attribute point cost cards. 4 to 5 minutes later, I'm guessing, around the 13 to 14 minute mark, educated guess, that is, and Tyrant is essentially a 10 to 13 attribute point power card, stat-wise only. Power card, stat-wise only, that's pretty damn good. I mean, in the early mid game, stats are kind of where they're at. I mean, that's a good part of the game there. And you know what? That's tremendous, tremendous value. Great, 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 great late early game, early mid game card here. That goes a long way. At the 70 to 20 minute mark though, Tyrant is half the health card. Simply doesn't provide the 300, 400 health that some other cards do. And it's a nearly similar power card than 10 to 13 attribute point cost cards, almost including those passives and actives. We've talked about that already. I mean, it's gonna be almost comparable. It really is, you know? And I think that's fair. You have to build Tyrant up. You have to kind of focus on it. And because of that, it kind of has to pay off in some way. And you know what? I think it almost is comparable to 10 to 13 attribute point cost cards, even including those passives and actives. So how do we sum all this up? What can we say? What are some conclusions? Basically, guys, Tyrant is a superior early game power card. You want some good power in the early game? Boy, 15 power goes a long way, and it's really quickly scales as well. Power quickly increases. Look at that, making Tyrant a superior mid-game power card, but also gives a fair amount of health when completed. It's fair. 200 health, not bad. Not bad. So it's a superior mid-game power card, really scales well, really when you can farm very effectively. And Tyrant provides you with a 12 to 13 attribute point cost card, almost including those passives and actives, around the 20-minute mark. That's pretty darn early. Around the 20-minute mark, I mean, either you have, 2 to 3, 6 to 7 point cost cards, or you have one 12 to 13 cost card. But around that point, well, Tyrant is one of those cards. That's good value, especially when it's been giving you tremendous value since the moment you put it on and all the way till then. If one can farm well, Tyrant can help you snowball into the mid to late game and provide an effective transition to late game cards. There's really nothing bad about Tyrant besides the fact it doesn't give you health. That's about the only thing that's kind of like, with it. It doesn't give you health until it's completed, around that 17 to 20 minute mark. So if you want to go a little bit into agility, like, you have a little bit of agility cards thrown into your deck, and then you can go all vitality after you get Tyrant. I think Tyrant is absolutely fantastic. Tyrant provides you with that power to kind of scale up and snowball while you go into vitality to increase your tankiness, to use Tyrant to then increase your farm and survivability and stay on the battlefield to farm better, making Tyrant even better. You can see it just kind of really helps. So if that's kind of the thing that you're going for, I think Tyrant it's a must-have. Really. I don't see why not in today's meta with a lot of today's cards, why you shouldn't go for Tyrant. So let me know down in the comments, guys. What do you guys think of Tyrant? Is it a great card? You use it on almost everybody in the jungle. Why wouldn't you use Tyrant? Let me know down in the comment section below. Patreon allows creators to offer their fans a way of supporting them and what they do. With flexible and painless payment options, anyone can support their creator for as little as $1 a month. If you would like to help me do what I love, check out the link in the video description to learn more. So, ladies and gentlemen, please like this video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, share it with the community, and of course, guys, subscribe. If you guys like this content, especially if you found it useful, really, please subscribe so I can help you out in the future. Check the video description to get links for my website with all my decks. They aren't updated on agora.gg or the core.gg. We can't export and import, so simply you can just find screenshots of my decks. My merchandise store is down there. You can get a t-shirt like this and support the Global Education Fund, and of course my Amazon affiliate links down there. Till next time, like always, guys, stay optimistic and positive.